Come and have a look at this. It is really cool. Now, how often have you struggled to get a big adventure bike up on its center stand, especially when fully loaded? Well, the suspension does half the job for me. And she's up. That's awesome. Welcome to ABR's Love It or Leave It about the new BMW R 1300 GS Adventure. So it's arrived. Adventure Bike Rider's new long-term review bike, the GS Adventure. And boy, it looks pretty darn imposing, just stood there. Now, I've had it for a couple of weeks now, put a few hundred miles on it. It's looking surprisingly clean, but I wanted to take you through some of the features I've discovered that I really love and a couple more that, well, I could take or leave them. Now, linked to that center stand that's given a helping hand to get the bike up is the adaptive ride height capability. Now, this means that when the bike slows down, the suspension actually lowers to help you get your feet on the ground, and then when you take off, it rises up again. It's something that's becoming more and more common on premium bikes. Really good for the GS Adventure because it is a relatively tall bike. So I'll turn the engine on, select the correct setting. That's it. And if I turn the ride height off, you can see the bike rising front and back, and I'm on tiptoes. If I turn the technology back on, I lower down back, lower down the front, and I can just about, well, I can get both feet flat on the floor. Now, the GS is a tall bike, so something like this, well, it helps someone like me, and I'm 6 foot, manage the bike a little bit more in car parks, paddling around, or on uneven ground. So I think a really good feature to add to the GS Adventure. Another feature I was really pleased to see on the new GS Adventure is this big screen. But not only that, it is electronically adjustable, which is a luxury, but is really handy on a bike that you're going to take long distance touring. So to see it in action, all I do is select it on the rocker switch and press the button, and there she goes. Voila! It's raining, I'm cold, I want to hunker down in a bubble of air. That's great. I'm in Spain, the weather's hot, I want to get a bit of fresh air through my vents, I put it down again. I also like the fact that we've got these wind deflectors on the bike as well, and overall it does really protect you from the weather and protects you from buffeting and so forth. A really good extra on the bike. Talking of luxuries, the triple black version of the GS Adventure I've got for the year comes equipped with heated grips, a heated riding seat and a heated pillion seat. Now, you might think I've gone soft, but I actually think heated grips are a necessity for anyone riding throughout the winter here in the UK. I've ridden in some snow, ice and hell over the past couple of weeks, and these grips have been a godsend. Now, they actually come as standard on the bike, which is good to see, and they are very effective. They have 3 heat settings, 1 to 3, with 3 being the highest, and I've had them blasting out. And BMW should be applauded for fitting a bike with heated grips that are so effective, because that is not the case with all manufacturers. Now, the heated seat for the rider and pillion, they are optional extras, but again, God, they've been a godsend over the past couple of weeks. And if you want to keep your pillion happy, well, there is a button here where they can turn it on themselves and set the heat setting. They're going to be a lot happier if you ride through the winter. The eagle-eyed among you may have spotted this Akrapovic double titanium silencer. Now, I'm not usually one for putting a new end can on a bike. It's a little bit frivolous, but boy, does it look cool. And it sounds even better. Have a listen to this. Oh, it's enough to get your pulse racing. Being a premium adventure bike, it comes with keyless ignition, which is a feature I could take or leave, to be honest with you. Yes, there is a certain convenience to it, but I have 2 or 3 riding jackets that I wear depending on the weather, and I'm always going from the driveway back into the house looking for the key in the pocket of the wrong jacket. But that aside, let's see how far I need to walk for it to go out of range. So Bracken, our man behind the camera, is going to tell me when a message flashes up on the TFT. You ready, Bracken?
Ready.
Okay. I try not to fall backwards down the slope. So we're still going, still going, still going. It's an impressive looking bike from down here. The ground below me is a little saturated. Try not to slip over. And we're still going. There we go. Here, where you might expect to see a brake light, there is a black box hosting the radar technology, which is linked to the adaptive cruise control. And again, that's a feature I can take or leave. I'm a big fan of cruise control, particularly when I'm touring in the summer. The adaptive element of it means that the bike speeds up or slows down depending on how close the vehicle in front of. It's handy, it's a nice to have. It's not something I'd be missing if it wasn't on the bike. So this is love it or leave it on the R1300 GS Adventure, and one thing I would definitely leave off is the front collision warning system. Now it's accessed through the menus, so if I scroll through here, down into the assist, there's the front collision warning. Now the idea is that it gives you a warning if it thinks you're in danger or you're about to have a crash. A message flags up on the screen, a pulse can run through the bike, and the bike will even brake for you. Now there's 3 settings. You've got early, medium and late. I find the early and medium ones are panic-stricken. Every time I was filtering through traffic, I was getting a hysterical message saying, warning, warning. And I really disliked it when I had a pulse through the bike, or even when the bike tried to brake as I'm trying to get through traffic. So for me, I turn the whole system off. However, if you do have it on the late setting, it is nowhere near as intrusive. Now, I'm a fan of increased safety on motorbikes, but for me, this is a little nanny state gone too far. I've got a brake, I've got a throttle, and I've got a clutch, and for me, that's all I need to avoid a collision. Now, one of the few areas the GS Adventure doesn't impress is with its Quickshifter, or shift assist, as BMW calls it. Now, while I'm quite a fan of a Quickshifter, they are convenient and they are fun to use. The system on the GS has never quite been as slick as you'll find on a lot of other bikes. If you match the revs correctly and shift at the right time, it is quite seamless, but there are quite a lot of occasions when you'll make a shift on the Quickshifter, it'll clunk, the bike will surge forward. It's just not quite as seamless as I would expect on a bike that is so polished. One thing I have to mention is the looks, because the new styling on the GS and GS Adventure has caused a huge amount of controversy, with some people loving it and it seems like quite a few people hating it as well. Well, please don't hate me, but I'm quite a fan. I think it looks rugged, I think it looks tough, it looks a bit menacing, and don't get me wrong, this is not a beautiful bike. There are much better looking bikes out there, but I'm on board with the new styling. And with that, that is our love it or leave it on the new GS Adventure. They really are my first impressions on some of the features I've discovered over the past couple of weeks. We will be doing a full review of the bike in the coming months, when I'll be looking forward to riding it when I don't need those heated grips and that heated seat. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.